we thought it's completely irrelevant. Right? What happened in the lobby doesn't matter now. Okay, this matters. Right? Look, we are observant people. We noticed something happened, something bad happened. Right? It had to do with this no marshal on the warning sign turn around thing. Right? Some of you noticed too, right? And so apparently, people run way far. I mean, way far. In our short career, that's the furthest they run ever.
Furthest, horizontally. In 2002 in Big Sky, Scott Summers led us, and by us I mean Gene Moore and Eddie Neugebauer and me, who were at the front, led us the wrong way in 28 degrees of snow, up 1,000 feet from where we were, and then we all lost, top 3 placings and almost died. But, hey, I mean, today was bad, it was good.
Everything depends on the vantage point. So if you're lucky, right? And the good thing is there is no marshal to blame, right? There is no one there.
That's right.
Look, once we figure out something is wrong, we try to figure out how far you actually run, or some of you. But we had no data, 0 data, right? We had to revert to something. So we thought, okay, celestial movements, right? So we analyzed the sun movement, and so from the time we started to the time the run ended, that's what we thought. That was like approximately 1 degree. And it looked really good, except when we calculated, it turned out that, the extension was for 4 minutes. So, we must have done something wrong, surprisingly, because we always do things right.
We planned it very, very carefully.
Extremely carefully. We scouted the run, right, the path. We knew everything about it, everything.
Everything.
Right? So basically, you have failed badly.
Yeah. And tonight we're going to tell you about that.
So, thanks to one of the runners, we were able to retrieve personal data of one of the runners, Danielle. And so you can see that the extra distance is impressive, I would say. Right? So, the approximation, so Danielle is allegedly the female runner that ran the furthest extra distance. After we saw this, Danielle, right? Yeah,
stand up! Stand up, Danielle!
A brave soul.
Yeah.
A bit unfocused, but
And then as a punishment, she had to give Jason Sperry's plenary time.
So after we saw this, we were scared to ask for any additional data from the male runners. Okay, right. So some people complained, right? I don't think it's justified at all, but they did, right? And so they had a problem. They had to run too far to the right side. Okay, think again. Think again. There were 2 choices. You guys run to the right. Okay, feel lucky.
So basically, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you would have run to the right, you would have to the left, sorry, you would have hit 7, and you would have just gone, as some of you probably almost did, 7 additional miles all the way to Tijuana. But luckily, the U.S. government has made a big, beautiful wall to stop that from happening. Now imagine if that wall stretched out a lot more, and how many other people would not get lost in the middle of the desert or other places.
It's amazing how certain political decision can resonate, for a shock society. Internationally, I mean, we had 20 plus Japanese, 1 Austrian, 1 Pole, right? 1 Swede.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine all of them crossing the wall, right?
All of them being screened, having to give their iPhones up, being biometrically screened. Who knows what else? It would have been great.
By the way, that was the only politically charged comment, right? We've been making, right?
Yeah. Now, luckily, so again, I think it was really nice of President Yeshki to thank the members of the armed services that were here. I think we really ought to thank the American government for many things, including sending Scott Summers to us as a race marshal. Now, I did make fun of him. He did almost kill me in 2002.
Scott, are you here?
We're still friends.
Look, Scott is an unassuming person. He knew he's going to be shown, right? He's your hero. I mean, to those who then turn left, right?
That's right.
Right?
Correct.
Think about Scott next time you do the fun run, right?
That's right. Instead of complaining about NIH grant decisions. So now, we also had Valentin Pavlov as a marshal. All right.
Valentin, are you here? Where are you?
Is Valentin here?
Okay.
Hey.
Now, Valentin is my East European brother, so to speak. And Valentin, is a very reliable marshal, and yet he uses some peculiar devices. If you could press the button, right. So Valentin has been using some East European-made pointing device that looks like a brush. So
I think it was a kid's sand scoop, and I don't know whether the story behind that. Did he steal it from a kid? Was it? Did he bring it with him because he knew he would be near the sand?
We were that Valentin stole it actually from the kids, from the beach. So you should get rid of it, Valentin. Okay?
Right. But remember, that's part of the long tradition of improvising here at the Shock Society. So
this is the moment when we want you to be silent for the next 2 minutes. We won't say a word either. Okay? It's a tribute to you, the runners. Okay? Enjoy and be quiet. The moment is over. It's Dr. Remick.
normally, I don't want to say. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but normally I don't get all. I don't say nice things about Dan. Let's just make that statement as clear as we can. But I think what we're going to learn from this experience, and as we see the next slides, is that there is something to be said for being shrewd, for reading the signs, for paying attention to the instructions, and for being old and slow.
There were two ways to win this run. Okay, one way was to run the fastest, right? It's okay, it's a good way to win things. The other way was to run, medium pace and just listen. Pay attention.
That's right.
Right? It's a great lesson for all of us. Mostly to you.
That's right. And okay, so we could blame this, we'll call it a fiasco, on political issues. We could get into this whole fact versus alternative fact, but we're not going to do that. Not this time. No, instead what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what really, if you hadn't realized it yet, is the true grand unifying theme of this year's Shock Society meeting. In fact, it was planned in advance. You were given, actually, a whole set of clues that something like this was going to happen. But most of you probably didn't notice.
Not probably, they just didn't pay attention.
They just didn't. The messages were clear. They were very, very clear from the very beginning of the meeting.
They were repeated many times.
Many times. In one talk. The message.
You know, when you see these slides, it makes you wonder, you know, that a group of so highly educated individuals.
They just can't read.
Yeah, no,
So-
they can't. No, it's not about not able to read. It's about retaining information.
I mean, it said, fail fast, fail often.
In fact,
And some of you went really, really fast, and you failed.
In fact, we are true messengers of Mark Eshke.
So I don't want to say we coordinated this with Mark, but we coordinated this with Mark. Look at the other obvious sign that he gave everybody. So just look at this. Failure is a far better teacher, and organizations that fail spectacularly often flourish more in the long run. And most of you focused on the word failure.
Because many people tend not to read to the end.
Because you should have noticed the words the long run.
Right? It was hidden there. Now not
in
even
plain sight.
not even German runners noticed that. And peculiarity of the German language is you have to really pay attention in the end, because there is this little thing, and in the end it defines the importance or the meaning of the sentence. And yet, all German runners went the long run.
The long run. In fact, we would like those runners to follow this advice that Dr. Yeshke put out. Really, it's not failure. It's more like, hey, this didn't work, and I'm a problem solver, and I'll try something else. Like, I don't know, dying here in the sand, or something.
Look, you turn right. It's still better than turning left.
It's true.
But the
Or
right,
going straight, because that would have been
right.
worse.
No, that's
That
like
would have been really
suicidal,
bad.
right?
That would have been...
But going right.
Maybe SIS people would have done that. I don't know.
Going right was a little bit better than going left or straight.
Right. Correct, I should say. In fact, if you had gone, as many of our, well, some of our fellow Shock Society members did, by going too far to the right, approximately well over a kilometer into restricted space where the Navy SEALs train, I mean, we could just imagine all the negative things that would have happened. Just the impact on American science would have been tremendous. All these people being renditioned, sent off to Guantanamo, you know, having body cavity searches done in very invasive ways. Very bad.
So,
very, very bad.
You know, even if you ended up with those group of people, I mean, there's no way you could mingle with them, right? You know, it's just, you're different.
That's right.
They're different.
That's right.
So
and good luck explaining to them that you just didn't see their sign. You know, I'm sure they're very tolerant of that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're very perceptive.
Yeah,
for
very
these
nice,
things, right?
very friendly, very friendly. So, okay, at the end, really, we can totally understand why some of you were mad. Really, I mean, no, actually, we don't really. I mean, in fact, the reality of it is that our reaction to it was more like this. I mean, really, we honestly don't care. I mean, the reality of it is we told you clearly on Sunday where the directions were. Wendy drew a beautiful map. We had arrows animated, and still, some of you went right past the sign. So we don't care. In fact, many of you didn't care, because when you think about it, the fastest runners got an opportunity to do things. In fact, it wasn't a failure. It is not that they failed. They learned something from their failure.
It was a new opportunity.
That's right. They learned, for example, about the Savannah sparrow and the osprey. Would you have learned about that had you simply followed directions and turned back? No. It was an opportunity for discovery.
Think about how many new opportunities this creates for modeling of sepsis.
That's right. That's right. In fact, others of you learned about you know, the differences between anabolism and catabolism. They learned about different pathways. They could imagine all that happening to them while they're running, like, I don't know, a mile away over the distance.
By coincidence, the people who are visible on the left side, well, I'm not pointing, you know.
But they look kind of bored.
And actually, majority of those people actually did not run.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And the really most important thing, really, that Dr. Yeshke pointed out to us is that somewhere between sort of boredom from listening to lectures, and the anxiety of needing to potentially die or be abducted by the Navy SEALs is the flow, right? It's that magical, you know, I'm in the moment, I'm in the zone.
It's California.
That's right.
You have to get into the groove.
That's right.
If you get into the flow groove, you're a winner.
That's right.
It doesn't matter, you know, what place you come back. If you're in the flow, look at those people. Look at this guy on the left, right? I mean,
they're in the flow.
He's flying. He's about to take off. You know, he doesn't need the airport to fly back to Japan.
Thank you.
Okay? I mean, his team is right behind him, following him, right? And there are others, you know, just getting there, right? Getting into the flow. Okay? Some are not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So they are like about to spread their wings and follow Shiga.
Or it's kind of like the agony and the ecstasy.
Thank you, Majin.
Exactly.
Wow, that was deep.
That was deep.
All
Well, I mean, it comes from adversity, I learned.
Yeah. Resilience.
Resilience.
Yeah. Mark Yeshke said it all.
That's right. He did. Right at the beginning. It was a clue.
Now, guys, we want to turn your attention to this couple. Right? Oh, actually, the little guy in the middle is the youngest participant of the shot run ever. Unfortunately, he had to go to sleep. Right? So 3 months, 15 days, some hours. Right? At the time of the run to finish. So
3 months.
we never had a younger person ever.
And the interesting thing is they still finished faster than some of the people that went past the
That's true.
Yes, they did. Yeah. So, but of course, there's going to be the people that say, I don't care about adversity. I don't care about learning from adversity. I don't care about my, you know, how failure is my teacher. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to win, and I want to know who the winners are. You know, it's like, forget all this stuff about, you know, personal growth or whatever. I just want prizes.
So this year, you know, because of this commotion, because of those differences, and some people sort of maybe taking it a bit harder than the others, we thought we don't need to show the winners. You're all winners.
That's right. Everyone gets a participation medal.
You made it back.
Yeah.
You made it back. That's what counts. You're ready for another run. Or not, but you know, we hope you are ready.
That's right.
But you know, there was one thing that we could not ignore. We could not ignore. There is a winner that we cannot ignore. There's one winner, always a winner. Even though not winning before, it's a true champ.
And remember, the winner had to be the person that actually followed the layout of the course, followed the directions, and got there first. It's really simple. It's not hard. Right?
And, you know, one champ.
One champ.
The only.
The one.
Lasting.
The legacy. That's right.
So, this is real. This is real.
It's
people.
true.
We
Yeah.
are not
Normally.
That's the only real part of this presentation. Mark actually came in first.
He did. So let's give it up for Mark. But it turns out the true surprise was that he was also the first female finisher. So, and that's real too, because the woman who would have been the first female finisher, whom I saw, never actually made it to the finish line. and Mark was there by himself. So for the first time ever in the history of the Shock Society, yet not only do we have the most attendees, not only do we have the youngest person running in a race, we have the first time ever the same person as first male and first female finisher.
The old champ. Mark, we salute you.
That's right. Big
Twice.
hand.
Twice.
And so really what this message is, again, we're taking this as a cue from our president, is about inspirational thoughts. And what we'd like to tell you that really don't worry about what others are doing. Follow your own path to happiness. Even if that path takes you like, I don't know, 1.8 kilometers well past the turnaround point. Just do it.
Yeah.
Follow your own path to happiness.
As long as you make it back, you're a winner.
In our book.
Okay?
That's right.
Absolutely.
In our book.
Yeah.
Okay?
And so we
And
invite
so-
you for the next year, people, okay? Participate. Doesn't matter. You win, you lose. Just come back, please. Okay? Just come back. That's what we care about. Right?
That's right.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
If I had my time again,